The man who started his weekend in perfect form has taken our Armour All Pole Position Award. Grant Johnson, the former series champ, on the money and in the money, $1,000. He's like you or I. He loves the cash.
In the first race, the series leader and the series champ lined up next to each other on the second row of the grid.
Johnson and Pither, a couple of Commodores will run down towards turn one. Ellsgood and Cedars, though, a couple of Falcons are chasing.
And Cedars is a new guy on the block, and he's giving Ellsgood everything he's got.
Kim Jane closing right in.
There was drama for some, barely one lap into the race.
The DBA in-car with Andrew Fisher and Kim Jane. He's got a problem because you just don't pull out and pass someone like that.
Well, the Ford does not have that sort of advantage. Speaking of problems, Rob Jarvis backwards and buried deep in the sand.
That's at turn 11, and Yokohama replay will tell us how and why and who.
Screen. Cabbage. Boom!
That'll bring out the safety car here at Winton.
And there was more than one optimistic passing manoeuvre.
Riding with Craig Dontis in the mid-pack. Jeremy Gray, this is ambitious.
Around the outside of turn 3 was never going to work. What was he thinking? Maybe he wasn't.
Oh, no, there he is. He isn't among all that sand.
Gosh, it's only his second event, so I'll give him, I guess, some leniency. But around the outside of turn 3, very ambitious. The inside front locks, chops down on the front of Dontis. Dontis did nothing wrong, and Gray off in the dirt. Bad luck.
The best way to stay out of trouble is to stay out in front, and that's exactly what the pole sitter did.
The sign says advertise here. Well, Grant Johnson is advertising in the best way possible. He's on his way home. The checkered flag is waiting, and the West Aussie takes race 1 at Winton. Pither home in second from Jack Ellsgood. Andrew Fisher in 5th. Reece McNally and Gary Carson round out the top 10.
Grant, congratulations. Pole position, race win. You've got a point to prove here this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. The car's been really good. The guys at High Tech rebuilt it after Clipsal, and it's the first outing we had this weekend, and so far so good.
Changing the way we decide the reverse grid race. You're going to choose a number shortly. How do you feel about this new format?
I think it'd be very interesting. I think a lot of the guys down the back there will be kind of umming and ahhing where they're going to start. So I think it's going to be a good change-up for the category.
And the magic number is number 11. Brad Patton has pole position by virtue of the reverse top 11. Gary Carson on the front row. Reece McNally, that's a really good job in a brand new car. And then plenty of familiar faces who fill out the pack. Scott Jennings, he's got to feel unlucky. He missed the inversion. He's 12th.
Well, in the old format, of course, he would have found himself on grid 4, but with the new format, still stuck on 12th.
Giannis Durham's driving a Ford for the first time. Rick Gill joining in this weekend is making his debut at the young age of 60. Great to have him with us. George Elliott's in there as well. Andrew Schultz has taken over the Ryle Harris Commodore. And Ben Cabbage, he actually got a 30-second time penalty from race 1 for that contact with Rob Jarvis, hence why he's so far back.
Ironically, that puts him right next to Rob Jarvis on the grid too, so that will be interesting to keep an eye on.
We will keep an eye on that. We'll keep our eye on the front row, Patton and Carson. But look at these Commodores. Gary Baxter makes an absolute stormer, as does Gary McDonald.
3 Commodores, though, side by side into 1. McNally backed out. Don't blame him. On board now. The Century battery's on board with Craig Dontis. You can just hear the balance on throttle through turn 2. Cold tyres, very nervous times.
Andrew Fisher making a move down the inside on Ben Dunn. And I've got to pay some points here. Everyone's well behaved. What's wrong with them?
So far, Noonan, we're only up to turn 5 of lap 1. It is a 12-lap race. Give them time.
Oh, there's plenty of time. They sort themselves out through the sweep up. We jump on board the ice break in car with Chris Pither. First time into this team this weekend and driving like he's been with them all season.
Oh, he's been given a nudge by Ellsgood there. He was thinking about McNally in front. Suddenly he's had to realise he's got to focus on Ellsgood, who's right behind. And we all know Ellsgood's a hard charger.
Back with Dontis, new engine in this car since the last round. Feels like ages since the last round. In behind David Cedars, who in turn is making some moves. Looks like Scott Jennings in the Samboy Commodore.
Squeeze him wide, brother. Squeeze him wide into the dirt. it. Cena's welcome to V8 Ute Racing reverse grid style.
He really, really did expect to get some racing room then, but he might rethink that one next time he's in that position as he now has another look.
Again, just here to balance on the throttle. Look at this opening lap. Bang!
Steve McFadden.
And a tank slapper! Boom! Oh, that's not good.
Had 4 goes at it. I've got it.
No, I haven't.
Again.
Yes, I have.
Yes, I do. Oh, Kim Jane, nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go, and that's the result of Kim Jane having a problem in race 1, starting at the back of the grid in race 2.
Andrew Fisher, second in the championship, in fact, coming into this weekend, applying a bit of pressure to the back of Gary Baxter.
We saw Compassion Day on the in-car board of Andrew Fisher. Then I think he showed far too much compassion for Gary Baxter. Then he should have thrown it up the inside.
Brad Patton leading the way, new backing from Winton Energy Drink for that team this weekend. Gary Carson, really impressive job.
Actually, both Brad Patton and Gary Carson in the Select TV Falcon doing a fantastic job. There's big pressure for these guys. It's only their second year, and behind them you've got the likes of Baxter and Fisher and Ben Dunn. He's got great local support. Wangaratta Base Company this weekend wants to put on a good show. And we see...
this is what happens. Chris Pither up the inside.
Oh, do they have the B-pillar rule in this category?
I think they have the no-pillar rule. And away goes Ben Dunn, who broke an axle in Friday practice, but he's got bigger problems at the moment.
If I was him, I'd just go and lay back on some of the Wilson fabrics, enjoy a few beers with the crew.
Hasn't got much else to do at the moment. Looking here at Reece McNally, who's under pressure from the reigning champ, Jack Elsgood. In car 1, won this round at Winton last year. In fact, it was only one of 2 rounds that he actually won, so it really shows that you have to be really consistent across every type of scenario that unfolds in a championship season. Brad Patton leads the way. The race 1 winner, Grant Johnson, on screen, is working his way through the order. But this is where the fight is now. Andrew Fisher hanging on from Chris Pither. Ford and Holden. Brad Patton, Carson, Baxter, Fisher, they run up the front.
9 laps in, and we've got Patton and Carson still holding their own against Baxter, Fisher, Pither. That is quality behind them, and they're doing a great job to hold their position.
And that just goes to show the steps that they've taken in the last 12, 18 months of Ute racing. They've got the speed now to run up there, but it's a whole new experience of putting the elbows out and actually racing these guys.
Well, they have to believe in themselves. They have to think, I'm running second here in the case of Gary Carson. I can hold Gary Baxter out. I can race with him. But he's got one of the best looking cars, Gary Carson, so he probably doesn't want to ding it up too much.
Yeah, fair call. DBA in car. Well, it's not in car, it's on car with Andrew Fisher. Having a look at Gary Baxter a little sideways, and Fisher has got some pressure coming too.
Well, Fisher's in 2 minds. Do I really focus on keeping the pressure on Baxter, or do I worry about Pither behind me? At the moment, he's in no man's land, and Baxter is just totally focused on Carson. It won't be long before he makes his move.
Gary Baxter, the runner-up here at Winton last year, won the round in 2008, so has very, very good history at this racetrack. No surprise to see him up towards the front. Here is Chris Pither, the Kiwi. One of 4 cars prepped by Williams Race Tech for this weekend.
Oh, you can just hear the Yokohama tyres resisting and protesting, but Fisher feeling the pressure. Massive slide towards the wall. I don't know how he kept it off, but he did. And Pither, just merely by keeping the pressure on, has gained that position.
And that didn't look like anything out of control in the exit, and then all of a sudden it did.
It just goes to show you we're watching this as we see Baxter now on the outside of the sweeper. No way!
Yes way. He's going the long way. Oh, this is tight, but he's on the inside for the next part, so he'll be okay. That is a big move.
That's brilliant stuff. My guess, Baxter's seen in his mirror that Pither has made his move on Fisher. He has said, I need to get on with this, get past Carson. And Carson, with the back hanging out in the dirt, he is feeling the pressure, but geez, he's doing a good job.
I don't know why you're getting excited. This is just normal Ute stuff. Look at this. Yokohama replay happens every race.
Up on the dirt, right against the wall. From the roof. Oh, he did hit it.
I I think he just nicked that tyre wall on the way through.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
9.5 out of 10. We deduct half a point for the contact.
And meanwhile, Brad Patton has just kept a smooth, consistent pace and has got a good gap over Gary Baxter. 2 laps to go. He's got to be feeling the pressure.
I reckon he can win this. If he can hang on for 10, what's another 2?
Well, what's another 2? We just saw him 1 lap. We're just watching them all roll around, and suddenly it all happened. Baxter made his move on Carson. Pither got in front of Fisher, and now here comes Ellsgood and Cedars. I love it!
Everyone's been able to work their way through this reverse grid race without too much damage. Ben Cavic here, the workhorse Falcon, under a bit of pressure from Giannis Derhams, who filling in this weekend for car owners Dennis Cribbin and Cole Dunn.
I like how you reference the workhorse Falcon, but you don't reference the red ass of Derhams. What's going on there?
Cars are at turn 3 right now. Here's Rick Gill. He's joining in the fun this weekend from Western Australia. First time in the Ute Series. Been doing some saloon car racing over in WA.
And while we've got Giannis Derhams in the red-ass Mexican Falcon on screen, it's so unusual to see Giannis so far back in the field. Maybe it's the switch. This weekend he's in a Ford, always been in a Holden in the past. I think he's struggling with the Blue Oval.
Well, Brad Patton's got something that's closing in. It's called Gary Baxter. He's got to within just a car length or 2. This time by, there's 1 lap, 3 kilometres of racing to go. Oh, I hope I didn't put the blocker on Pat.
Well, it's been a wicked performance in the wickedly designed car so far. He's led from lap 1, started pole position, but right now he's going to get a call on the radio from the team. Last lap, Brad. Hang on to it.
Open the doors. Do anything you can do, because here comes Baxter, and Carson now under fire from Chris Pither, who's in the gap. Look at the lead. Baxter makes the big move, forces Patton off the road. He'll pop out the other side. Oh, no!
Oh, no! So close. Baxter, a decent move down the inside, a little bit of contact. We get it all the time, but the pressure. He just squeezed the throttle too much.
He was back on the road, and I thought he was going to just drive it up the hill and get back into the lead, but instead he's on the side of the road, facing in the wrong direction, and Gary Baxter's got the lead.
And if all of that's not enough, Pither has got past Carson. Fisher has got past Carson. And now Pither has put the pressure on Baxter. I just can't keep up.
Oh, half a lap to go, not done with yet. Pither's closing in. Look at them in the background. Ellsgood, Cedars, driving like a bunch of lunatics. And Grant Johnson, the race 1 winner, is going with them. So the race 2 win has gone from potentially a couple of rookies maybe snagging one to a couple of seasoned Ute veterans.
I tell you what, the Jim Beam battle pack has changed. Every lap of this race has been different. Gary Baxter missed the gear.
Oh, Pither down the inside on the grass. Oh, can't watch. Where's this going? Baxter hangs on, but look, big winner. Andrew Fisher. If he can sneak up the inside, he could at least snag second.
Gary, I can't even say the names right. This is insane.
Oh, Baxter inside, Pither outside. Fisher will fill the gap. That's the way to go. But Baxter is off the hook now. 1 corner to go. That was a good race.
And that's
still a good race.
Second last turn by Andrew Fisher to slide in there to claim second place was brilliant stuff. Star of the race for me. Will he hang on to 4th as Gary Carson, but Gary Baxter takes the win.
Throw a blanket over them at Winton. That was, you know what? That was a standard Ute race. Imagine what a really good one's like. That was fantastic. Gary Baxter started 6th. He gets the win from Andrew Fisher. Chris Pither came from 10th on the grid to get 3rd. And Paul Williams and Charlie O'Brien rounded out the top 10.
But the man I feel sorry for is Brad Patton. He came so close.
Brad, that's got to be devastating, so close to the race win.
Yeah, 12-lap race. We led it for 11 and a half, and it was a great feeling, great race to lead it for that long, but obviously Gary's a lot better driver than myself, and I just wasn't able to hold him out, and I probably should have blocked a little bit more, but they're things we learn, so...
We've got one final race today. Has it fired you up to get out there and give it your all for the last race?
Yeah, well, hopefully Gary's nowhere near me, so but we'll see how we go. Yeah, no, it'll be good. I'm really looking forward to getting out there.